gentlemen, welcome to another fun-filled edition of WCHS Today. I'm your announcer, John Strominger, and the guests tonight, Gene Conrad, Christy Lindstrom, and Mike Mills. So stick around and enjoy the show. And now, the star of the show, here's Jim.
Oh, yeah. Hello. Oh, wow. What a band. What a crowd. How you guys doing tonight? All right. Rob's doing good. All right.
Rob's doing okay.
Hello, my name is Jim Tallman. This is WCHS Today. We're a student-run, student-operated organization here at Washington Community High School. You know?
Yeah,
I know.
I know that.
Let's go visit the band. Hey, Mr. Hacker.
Hey.
How you doing?
Great.
Humongous band tonight.
Humongous. Sitting on the floor.
Hey, to save you some trouble, why don't we just go around and everybody introduce themselves? Thank you. Well,
I'm Brian Heller.
Gail Fishback.
Rob Weiner.
John Norland.
Jim Tallman.
Ah!
Oh, that's you. No, I'm Dan Hacker. Jeff Trigg.
Tony Robbins.
okay. You guys have a big feature tonight, don't you?
A big.
The biggest of the year. All right. Okay.
So how's your week been, Jimbo?
Pretty good. Oh, what's been going on this week? Besides exciting Monday yesterday.
Big football game coming up.
Yeah, big football game.
Big football game.
Let's start with what we always start with every week. My favorite dumb joke of the week. All right. Okay.
All right.
John, you got two of us for us tonight,
Yeah,
don't you?
okay. They're personal favorites of mine. First one. What goes? Vroom, vroom.
What?
The St. Louis Cardinal team bus at a blinking red light.
Oh. Okay.
That is one of my favorites.
You had one more, don't you? Might as well throw in one more.
Okay, this one I heard from Kalen Deeb last year. Just to give credit. What's the difference between a duck?
That's a normal.
Oh, did you make it up? Well, I heard it from Kalen. Okay, what's the difference between a duck? Does anybody know? I mean, one of its legs are both the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
That ends another episode of. Hey. Oh, here. Yeah. There you go. Move the camera there. Dumb joke
Dumb joke.
of the week. Okay. Well, we got a thank you note this week. I'd like to read on the air. Thank you note to the TV Club. This is from Phil and Carmen Jones. Thanks so much. To you, whoever else took the videos and helped with these copies. This is from the Miss Good Neighbor Day pageant that we put on the air, was the first show. We'll cherish these for a long time and be able to share with friends and relatives unable to be here in person. They're just mainly thanking us for going out there and taking our time and filming the pageant. And it's pretty nice of them.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mrs. Jones.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Do you have candy thing?
I don't have it.
Okay.
I didn't.
Starting a new segment this week called Top 10 List, not copying off anybody on purpose.
No, not at all.
We have a top 10 list, and these lists will be provided by our very new and very new correspondent person, Tim
Second time on the
Franz.
show.
So, Tim, why don't you come out and give us Tim's top 10? Tim, what's the top 10 list for tonight?
All right, the top 10 list has to do with top 10 student council responsibilities. As you know, student council does a lot for this school and the community. So we'll start off here with number 10. Providing quick service and fast delivery of homecoming pictures. Number 9. Making sure there's enough toilet paper in the restrooms. Number 8. Endorsing quality and entertaining television such as WCHS Today.
All right. Okay.
7. Making sure the executive board of student council gets out of class at least 1 hour per week. Number 6. Supplying sufficient funds for worthwhile organizations like the highly touted Panther chess team. Number 5. Approaching students in the hallways to make sure they have their student IDs on them. Number 4. Providing stiff penalties to anyone in the student parking lot not displaying their orange and black parking permit. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Number 3. Providing a safe environment for those who choose to cross the dreaded highway at lunch. Number 2. Patrolling the lunch lines for criminal delinquents who attempt to cut in line. And the number 1. Student council responsibility. Scanning the halls for illegal activities such as excessive and indecent displays of affection.
Okay. All right.
That's all we have for you this week.
Well, that's
This
good
will
enough.
probably be the last time we'll be saying this. I'm going on special assignment.
Special
hopefully.
assignment next week. You'll be touring the city of Washington. And if you see Tim out there,
Stop by and say hi.
Yeah, just stop by
We
and
won't
say
put you on, but stop by and say hi.
Well, thanks for being on tonight,
Okay.
Tim.
Thank
I hadn't heard that before. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Let's bring out our sports correspondent. You've seen him many times on this
Many
show.
times.
Let's bring out Mr. Oh, we got his
Is there
assistant
another?
again with us.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Mike Mills and Rob Weiner.
Every show.
What? Main talk tonight, I think, is on the World Series. So,
Yeah,
yep.
Sure.
So tell us, what do you have to report about the?
the Cardinals have lost the first 2 games.
All right. Okay, how many people out there want the Cardinals to win? Yeah. Okay, how many of you guys want the Twins to win? Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, well, what do you think? Since this week we're taping on Tuesday, so we are not be able to see the third and fourth.
Twins have already won it.
I know. No way.
Anything about the game? You want to talk about the players and stuff like that?
Yeah, Jack Clark isn't playing. He didn't mean much anyhow. Pendleton is just like a DH. So, there you go, designated hitter.
Why don't you put in a plug also, skip things a little bit, our Panther football team, last Friday's game.
Yeah, they won.
Yeah.
What was the score?
37?
35.
38,
37.
30-something.
Okay.
We won.
Yeah, we won.
We won.
Now that puts us, what is that now? Makes us in the standings in minute line.
We're first in middle line. We're tied with Limestone. We play them this week.
The big one.
The big game this week.
Second
Everybody be
ranked.
there.
We're second in
Third
state.
ranked.
They're third in
Third
state.
ranked in state. Big game. Big crowd.
But we
Big
lost our
crowd.
quarterback.
Yes. Yes.
Mm. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Victim of law.
Any other?
Football's back on, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
The strike's over.
Yeah.
with. They'll be
Strike's over.
playing.
Bears lost.
They'll be playing pretty soon here.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just wanted to bring you on a little bit. Talk to him. You want to talk about the World Series a little bit.
Anything else in sports going
Is
on?
it, yeah,
Anything
what about our
about
volleyball team?
Volleyball.
Volleyball
BD's
team, there you go.
Peoria. BD's Peoria, a big game. Very exciting.
Okay.
Very exciting game. Hey, that puts us in tie for first in the middle line, eh? For the girls' soccer. or
Okay.
girls' volleyball.
Golf's over with. So
Golf is over.
Yeah.
I just mainly wanted to get you on real quick, talk about mainly the professional sports. Big change this past week, and talk a little bit about the football. So,
It's awful sweet of you.
well, thank you. Thanks for being on tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. For what? Oh yeah. Wait, touch Chris. Last week we showed a clip of the marching band at the homecoming parade. This week we have another clip. This is the band's opener that we have at U of I. They competed at the U of I field show. When was that? 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago Saturday.
2 weeks ago Saturday.
3 weeks ago Saturday. No, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago Saturday.
2 weeks ago Saturday. Yeah. 2 weeks ago Saturday, and this is their field show. This is the first number for them, entitled Firestorm. So we can run that tape now. That was taped by our very own.
My mom.
That's the first time ever she taped, I think, too.
Yeah, every
I
time
don't
she
know
looked
if
away from the camera, it got the bleachers.
So. It's time again for our infamous audience poll.
Dun, 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 dun.
Tonight's question did cause some people very hardship and pain when they thought of this answer. If there are 4 meals a day instead of 3 meals, what should be the name of the new meal? So here's some of the interesting answers you provide us with tonight. Lupper, early midnight snack, brunch. We're getting original here. That depends on which meal it is. It could be breakfast, dinch, or leech. Bruner, okay. Monfeast. Monfest. Okay. Ask me if I care. Scrunch. Eat shoes syndrome. That's a Tinner. Krunsmeal. Dieter's nightmare. Snack. Oh, okay. Pizza. Oh, we had some mid-grunch, breakfast brunchfest,
Breakfast brunch?
Bruner.
Bruner.
Breakfast, B-R-U-N from lunch, and E-R from supper.
Oh, that's kind of clever.
Zimbabwe, okay.
Bubble.
Cupper. Yeah. We did take one more audience poll tonight to make up for that. This is just mainly,
Yeah.
just a little fact finding from our audience what their favorite cartoon character was. Mr. Jetson. There's a lot of Mr. Jetsons in here. Daffy Dog. Porky Pig. Mighty Dog. Okay. Snoopy. Minnie Mouse. Orbit from Jetsons.
Orbit.
Hey,
Is that the
yeah.
dog's name? Orbit?
Yeah. Dudley Do-Right. Yeah. Grape Ape.
Grape Ape.
Woody Woodward. Chippy the Turtle. The Beatles on MTV. Yeah, well, I wonder who wrote it. Garfield, Snagglepuss, Tippy Turtle, Tippy 2 for Tippy Turtle, Papa Smurf, Mr. Magoo, and Mighty Mouse. So, that ends another episode of... What? Audience poll. Okay. You give me the weirdest look back there. Someone just went on. Okay. He's just getting ready to cheer. Okay.
Surprised nobody said Mr. Peabody and Sherman
Yep.
from the old Wayback Machine.
Let's bring on our next guest. She's been on once before, but never with her report. This is our video movie correspondent. So if we please welcome Miss Christy Lynch. How you doing tonight?
Fine, how are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
What is it coming up in the video movie stores for us to like go watch?
Well,
It's mainly here. Talk about.
Right now in October, there's Lady and the Tramp, Creep Show 2, I don't know about that one, and I think Slumber Party Massacre. But, I mean, that doesn't sound too
Gotta
good.
see that one.
Hit me on the order. Flicks.
In November,
Oh.
Harry and the Hendersons. Now, I've seen that one. That one is good. I would go see that one.
Which one?
Harry and the Hendersons. Have you seen that?
No.
Just what's the plot about it a little bit?
They find a big Bigfoot, and
Big
him
Bigfoot.
home. They take him home, and all the neighbors see him, and it's just a really good movie. I like it. I think you will too. Superman 4 is coming out. I haven't seen that one. I don't know if it's any good or not. Deadline and Who's That Girl? I've never heard of those either. So.
Who's that girl got Madonna?
Oh. Okay.
So have you seen like any like Lady and the Tramp or anything like
Yes, Lady and the Tramp. Very good.
that? So is that out in the stores now or is that coming out very soon?
It's ranked in the top 40, but I'm not sure what it's ranked.
AD 40 countdown.
Yeah, it's from Sounds Easy. If you ever want to go there and get a movie.
Okay.
Hey, is that commercial for?
Well, they helped us out.
Yeah,
Sounds Easy
yeah.
one that does help us out with this finding of the information for us. So I thank the people from Sounds Easy. Well, thank you for being on.
Well, thank
Hope to
you.
see you in about 2 weeks with another
Okay,
good
yeah.
report. All right.
It's like
The
music.
band is humongous tonight. Oh wow! Everybody.
Uh-oh.
The band is really
Scurry.
big, and they have a big, awesome feature.
Big.
So, what's the song? Is this? What's tonight's song?
California girl.
California Girls. Take it away, Dan Hacker and the band.
Wait. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah! Whoa, yeah! Oh yeah!
Can you believe it?
That was great.
That was incredible. Oh my.
The band is back. All right. Our featured guest tonight comes from WRRL. He is the host of the morning magazine show every weekday morning. So please welcome Mr. Gene Conrad. How you doing?
Just fine. And you?
Pretty good.
You don't even look like Johnny Carson or David Letterman.
I can. Sorry about that. How'd you ever get? Yeah. How'd you ever get interested in doing radio?
Well, I saw your list of questions before I came on stage. And, gave me 2 minutes to think about it. Actually, I think I was about 14 years old, and I was really involved in my church. And the pastor encouraged me to get up and read in front of the congregation on Sundays. And I think I was a freshman about that time, and I did that for 3 or 4 years. And then I had a chance to get into a radio program through the English department. I grew up in a real small town in rural Minnesota, and we had a local radio station that gave the high school kids an hour a week to produce a radio show. So I got involved in that, and then one thing led to another, and I got into it a couple years after that.
Did you carry that on through college, or did you have a different major? Did you?
Well, actually, I didn't go to a college. I went to a trade school for a year in Minneapolis, and I was very young when I graduated high school. I was less than 18 years old when I started my first day full-time in radio, and I guess it has probably taken me 10 or 15 years to really appreciate the college education and not having one. I'm getting to the point in my life now, I'm 33 years old, and I kind of wish that I had taken 3 or 4 years to go do it. And sooner or later, not having a college education, especially if you have a chance to get one, it'll catch up to you. So I was very anxious and very happy to get out in the workforce at the age of 17 or 18, but down the line, it really does pay to have the education.
Have you been at WRL all the time, or have you worked at like different radio stations?
Well, I went to school in Minneapolis, and I moved back to my hometown in western Minnesota, and I was there for about 1.5 years. And from there, I moved to Lincoln, Nebraska, and I worked in Lincoln about 7 years, and I've been in Peoria since 1981.
Now, you are the host of what's called the morning magazine every weekday morning, correct? Was that your own idea, or is that has been with the WRL for quite a while?
Well, I've been doing the morning show since I got here in April of 1981, and I think the name, the morning magazine, has been kind of attached to the name Gene Conrad for probably about 4 years. We just felt that the show needed a handle that people could call. Some shows around town are called, the Breakfast Club or the Q Morning Zoo or the Morning Magazine. We have so many different informational things that we provide on our radio station that we thought the word magazine was very apropos at the time.
How do you describe your program? Like, what are your goals, and how would you describe your program?
Well, different people in radio are hired to do different things. When I was hired in 1981, I wasn't funny, and I'm not funny now. They didn't hire me to try to be funny. So I really don't go out of my way to be the world's greatest jokester. I guess I was hired 6 or 7 years ago to be involved in the community and really show a caring interest about what goes on in Peoria and in Washington and Pekin and East Peoria and Bartonville. that is really my interest, is just what's going on locally, and to provide it in as an entertaining and informative feature every morning. If it leads to humor, it leads to humor. If it doesn't, we just strive to keep pumping out the information.
What else do you do besides the morning magazine at WRAL?
Well, I'm also the program director, which gives me the responsibility of 8 or 10 people who work in my department, scheduling, choosing the music and the general policies of promotions and things like that. So I get to work about 10 after 4 in the morning and usually between 4 and 4:30 in the afternoon. So it's about a 12-hour day.
Now, I understand you have a hot wax, which goes on every day, and plus Saturdays for like 4 hours, which that plays the old music at least 10 years back. Is that right? Correct?
It strives to go 10 years back at least, but predominantly it's, I would guess, 1957 through 1970, which is really the heart of rock and roll. For those of us, some of us still have hair and others don't. But there's a real resurgence of oldies even in the high school ranks that I'm sure you're aware of. That a lot of the styles out of the 1960s are coming back and becoming popular with all age groups. Our radio station has a demographic appeal predominantly to people in their 30s, so oldies are really, are the backbone of a lot of those people's lives. So we really want to hit home with the oldies. And again, just like the morning magazine, we wanted to call our old dusty records something than oldies. So we chose the term hot wax, and it was one of those things where the first 6 months we were calling it hot wax, people kind of wondered why. Now they don't ask why anymore, but instead of calling them oldies, they'll call them hot wax songs. And we've pretty much defined the word oldie with the term hot wax in our station.
Are you the only radio station around the area that has such a program like that?
There are a couple of others that have programs like it too. Some are done locally, some are done nationally. But our radio station has been doing oldies shows in one form or another for about 7 years.
Your sister radio station is WSWT.
Mm-hmm.
Are you involved at all with the WSWT at all?
Personally, no, but we share the same building and work with the same people. It's really a team effort. But no, I personally have no responsibilities with the
So
station.
you really don't pick the songs that actually go on the air for WSWT?
No.
Everything about, if you did, like, maybe like put a little input to liven it up just a little bit?
Well, I think that WSWT has changed a lot in the last couple of years, and I think it's changed for the better. I hate to say this, but a lot of people's perception is that WSWT is really soft music that you hear in dentist's office. And it's not true. You'd be surprised at the kinds of songs that they're mixing in with some of the instrumentals. They have a TV commercial on right now that talks about the Eagles and Dan Fogelberg being on WSWT. There are some soft instrumentals that are interspersed, but there are also some vocals that fit very well too. It's a softer sound, but it's a much more contemporary sound than it once was.
Do you ever think about breaking into the field of television with your announcing experience, maybe just like carrying on like a news show or something like that? Or
well, I already have my high school diploma, so your job is not in jeopardy. But no, I've done some TV work with Channel 47 once in a while, and that's fun to become involved in, but as far as a career change, no, I've never really contemplated that at all.
Well, one question our sponsor thought of, which I thought was interesting. What was the most embarrassing thing for your whole career that's ever happened to you?
Well, I can't tell you the whole story, but it's surprising because I just had a friend over from the radio station last night, and we were going through some old tapes, and he had never heard it. I've worked with Jim for 6 or 7 years, and basically we had a piece of equipment that serves as kind of a microphone, and it had an on-off switch. And the switch wasn't working, and it became a very, very frustrating day. And I was about 15 feet away from the microphone, and it was off, in the off position. But again, we'd been having problems with it, and somebody was giving me a lot of grief for not allowing this microphone to work properly. And it was supposed to be off. but it wasn't. And I shouted something at the top of my lungs, and it was live on the radio. And it's one of those kinds of tapes that shows up all the time at the Christmas parties. But I didn't get a whole lot of sleep that night, and wound up basically worrying about my future and my job, and wound up in my boss's office the next morning at 8 o'clock, sweating like crazy. And luckily enough, he let me keep working. So that was scary.
You said that most people like listen to Hot Wax around their 30s. Is that your target audience? Do you try to hit more of the adults than?
Yeah, I think so. Radio's changed a lot in the last 12 or 15 years. You had mentioned WSWT and the fact that it was always soft and a lot of real syrupy instrumentals. And like I said, it's changed over the last few years. But in the 1970s, I'm sure you remember that real well, back in about 72 or 73, or even through about 1975, all the FM stations were playing that kind of music. There were 3 or 4 FM stations that were operable, and they basically were the kinds of stations that simply played tapes of very soft and mellow music 24 hours a day. And back until about 1975, WIRL was the rock and roll radio station in town. And over the course of the last 10 years, FM has come on, and they have gone for a certain segment of the audience and been very successful. And we have kind of taken the audience that grew up with WIRL and tried to grow with them to feature things like the oldies and the hot wax to still make ourselves attractive to our market. So it's an ever-changing world. Radio stations are constantly changing to keep up with the audience that they want to attract.
How do you do in ratings? Are you rated against the other stations equally, even though you are different, like you're a different style of station than the other ones? Mm-hmm. Or do they rate like purely rock and roll to purely rock and roll?
Everybody's in the same bathtub. It's everybody's in the same ratings. Basically, how the ratings work is that a company out of Maryland gets on the phone and calls different residences and families in central Illinois and asks them if they want to keep a radio diary of their listening habits for 1 week. And people 12 years of age and above in that household will fill out the diaries. There are 600 to 800 diaries filled out in a 3-month period, and then they're returned and calculated according to demographics and ages and genders, and it all spits out in a book that's about that thick with different percentages and numbers. And that's what a lot of advertisers base their advertising buys on, is the ratings.
How do you compare against the other stations in the ratings?
We hold our own. We hold our own. The one thing that the advertisers are very concerned with, and consequently the radio stations are very concerned with, is the 25 to 54-year-old. Because the feeling is that the 25 to 54-year-olds have the most income to spend. 25 to 54-year-old, by the time they're 25, they've been out of college 3 or 4 years, and they're starting to pay off their student loans. They're starting to have 3 or 4 years experience at their position and their job, and they've got some spendable income. That through 54, raising families and things like that, people are in a buying mood. They have to buy things for their house. They like to keep a new car in the garage. They have to buy things for the kids. And then as people get above 55 or 60 years of age, their need for purchasing in the marketplace becomes less, for the most part. And consequently, the advertiser generally is not quite as interested in getting that message out to the people above 55 or 60 years of age. So every station in town, whether they concentrate on the lower end of that 25 to 54 spectrum, the middle, or the upper end of the 25-54 spectrum, that's really where the battleground is among radio stations. Everybody wants a piece of that 25 to 54-year-old pie. So we have I think, one of the few radio stations in Peoria that is right smack dab in the center of that group of 25 to 54. Some stations show very well 25 to 54 in the ratings, but most of their listeners are under 30 or 32. Others will show well and they will be on the upper end, and their listeners will be predominantly 45 to 55. But I think our entire audience, or probably 80 or 85% of it, is probably between that 30 and 45 mark. So it puts us smack dab in the middle of that demographic. So if we have any advertisers watching television today, the number is 694-6262.
Okay. Is there any big special happenings? I know you just got done with a contest, a high-low contest this past weekend. Is there any other big secrets you can let us in on here?
Well, the program, I guess, is taped today, right? And played back later in the week?
Played back Thursday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
This week we're giving away 32 pair of Kenny Rogers concert tickets for next week's concert at the Civic Center. You mentioned a high-low game. For the last 3 weeks we've been doing a game where people call in and guess the exact amount in a jackpot, and we tell them if they're too high or too low, and by listening longer periods of time, people can zero in on the exact amount. We gave away $5,000 that way in a 3-week period. And we'll probably do something like that in the next couple of months again. I think it adds to the excitement. It makes people want to listen a little bit longer, and most radio contests, fall during the ratings to get people to listen a little bit longer. So,
well, thank you very much for coming on tonight, taking
You
out
bet.
your big, busy schedule. I know all your radio celebrities do have, and so do thank you, and hope you enjoyed yourself on the show here.
this is a big-time shot. I went through this when I was in high school, and I tell you, this is it's come a long ways in the last 16 or 17 years. This has been fun. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Is that the show?
Oh yeah, we've got one more message. Just one more. Next week is our very special Halloween show. We will all be in costumes here for one of the wildest times ever set foot on Channel 5. What? Trick-or-treaters. We got the whole ball of wax next week. We have a big special preview from Brad and Becky. They're the movie reviewers, but I think they have something very special planned for next week. Trick-or-treaters are welcome to come. Hey, you're welcome to come to the show. We tape next week, Thursday at 4 o'clock with their parents. Chaperone will have oodles and oodles of things for them to do. So we have new closing graphics tonight. So I'm not sure if this will be the last time. I hear there's a few pokes at me on this closing graphics. So thank you and have a good week. See you. Music.
I just figured